kids.
Mm-hmm.
These are kids. They don't need to be pushing any sort of, they don't even need to be pushing like regular marriage on kids. I'm a parent of 4, all different ages. I know that kids mature at different ages. 2 girls are not necessarily going to mature the same. Boys and girls mature differently. Everyone is different. You parent one kid, you know one kid. You're not an expert. Believe me, 4 kids, I'm still not an expert. But I know that I have had, each kid has the sex talk at a different point, and they've all not been ready at the same time. I had very frank conversations with my kids about it, but it was for me and my husband to decide when they were ready and how we should do these sex talks. And um, so for the school to just kind of assume that everyone's ready at the same time, and even like I have kind of personal experience. This is a really silly story, but I went to a Baptist school in first and second grade. And then I was homeschooled for third and fourth grade, but the Baptist school was right down the street from me. And a lot of you maybe know about the Awanas program, which was kind of like a Bible study weekly for kids. So I still went to that church/school for their Bible study on Wednesday night. So I kind of I maintained friends with some of the kids that I was friends with in first and second grade through elementary school. There was this kid, Paul, in my grade. Paul chased me like from day one. And I do mean chased me. Like Fridays was boys chase girls day, and he would chase me and flirt with me. And like this went on until 5th grade with this guy, Paul. Clearly he was whatever you can be at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old into me. But then all of a sudden come high school, he comes out as gay. I mean, if he knew that in first, second, third, fourth, like, do you think he'd be chasing me? Do you think he had the mindset of like at 7 years old to be like, oh, I'm not accepted, I need to pretend like I'm into a girl? Like he didn't
Yeah,
know.
he didn't know back then.
He didn't know. And so why are we pushing this on them? Why are we trying to teach them why anything about it?
Mm-hmm.
Stick to math and phonics and language arts, reading, writing,
Yeah, I mean that's basically it. So that's the podcast, everybody. Okay, good night. That's it.
And I made
Um,
it in English and Armenian. They can do that too.
yeah. Um, yeah, and I think you're right in the point in the sense that schools are not going to really respond until parents start taking their kids out and there is a drop. Um, we saw this during COVID. We saw when parents started to get an idea of what's going on in the classroom because they were able to sit there and watch what their kids were going through. And then parents were horrified at what these public schools were teaching. They said, okay, well, we're going to start pulling you out. Then you saw record low enrollment in public schools across California after COVID, during COVID, and after COVID. And it hurts. And a lot of people were, okay, well, now what do we do? These kids are gone. We're not getting the revenue. Um, and I think that's how you're going to have to approach it is money does talk. And when you take kids out of school and their enrollment goes down and that starts to hurt their bottom line, at the end of the day, that might be the best way to kind of combat this is just go like, look, you're not going to make money off of my kids by teaching this. Um, and there's only so many private schools, there's only so many charter schools and parochial schools and Catholic schools and all that stuff that probably can't accept every kid in California. So a lot of these schools, you just kind of got to put your foot down and say like, you know, like almost kind of make an example of like, you do this, parents are going to get pissed and they're going to push back. And maybe hopefully for every, like, I guess I would say like every Saticoy that is out there that's happening in Glendale right now, hopefully there's a bunch of other schools that are looking at this going, we don't want Glendale and we don't want Saticoy happening at our schools. So let's not do this. Let's kind of pump the brakes on a lot of this stuff. So I think it does have a ripple effect.
Hopefully.
um let's see what the next thing is. I have so many tabs opened. Okay, so speaking of Glendale, protests did get violent at Glendale. So Glendale, California, a protest held outside a Glendale school board meeting over the students' right to choose their pronouns took a chaotic turn Tuesday evening. So let me just pull this up, make sure there's no ads beforehand. And of course, there's an ad beforehand. Just wait for this to end. Just keep going. You're just watching
really
me
into that
watch this.
ad.
All right, let's see. Video is ready to go. Let's see. Again, open invitation to anybody who wants to be a producer for the California Underground podcast. You're more than welcome to. So I don't have
But
to do
I'll
this.
vet you first.
Every carrier has goals in mind. Achieving them takes steady work.
Anyway, so there's another ad. Oops, skip ad. Here we go. Is this the same video? I thought I clicked on a different video.
Same newscaster.
Is this the same video? Oh, here we go.
He has nothing against the LGBT.
No, this is the same video. What happened? Where was the other video? Oh, no. How did this happen? Stop sharing. Let's try this again. I think I picked the wrong tab. Talk amongst yourselves. Rhode Island. It's neither a road nor an island. Here we go.
Okay.
Melvin Jenkins here at the Glendale Unified School District headquarters, and there were hundreds of people that showed up here in the parking lot to demonstrate. Take a look. Sky Fox was over the scene, and you can see the moments when that crowd became violent here. Dueling protests outside the Glendale Unified Board meeting that led to law enforcement declaring an unlawful assembly. Meanwhile, inside, the school board was voting on reconsidering Pride curriculum, highlighting LGBTQ plus issues that has been in place since 2019. Glendale Unified says it follows California law, which states that every person on campus has a right to be referred to by their preferred pronoun. Meanwhile, parents and community members on both sides showed up to demonstrate.
They need to stop asking little children what they sexually identify as. Children are not sexual beings, nor should they be.
I think it's really important to be here to stand up for all children and not be exclusive. We are an inclusive community.
The school board later did vote unanimously to declare June Pride Month and move forward with the curriculum. Advocates say LGBTQ plus representation in school studies is important. Opponents say they don't want the content to be introduced to children. Police, meanwhile, say many of the protesters here at this protest, at this demonstration, were also present during a violent exchange between demonstrators outside Saticoy Elementary in North Hollywood last week over a scheduled Pride assembly. And back out here live, Glendale police say 3 people were arrested here in the parking lot yesterday, one of them for allegedly using pepper spray. Reporting live in Glendale, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Mario, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mario. So yeah, things turning violent there in Glendale. It looked like there is definitely Antifa involved. How do I get you to go away? There's some other videos we're going to pull up from our good friend Anthony Cabasa. He has a whole bunch of these videos, so I want to go through a couple more of these, and then we can start in on our new overlords, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, and talk about how they were honored by our favorite legislator and Scott Wiener up in Sacramento. So I'm going to pull up some of these videos. And again, I apologize if there's bad words or stuff like that. There's naughty words. And Anthony, Informed with Anthony, definitely go follow his page if you don't already. Probably some of the best independent journalism. Shout out Anthony. We asked him to come on tonight, but he's very busy and didn't want to come join. Well, he would have come and joined us. I shouldn't say he didn't want to come.
Don't say that.
He had prior commitment. If he could, he probably would have been on this show with us. So apologies, Anthony. I know you would have came on. Love you, Anthony.
Now he's never on.
Now he's never coming on. He's going to be like, screw you guys, and don't look at my page again. Next time I check this, it's going to be you're blocked by Anthony. So this is...
There you go again. No, he doesn't do that.
No, he doesn't do that. He doesn't block anybody. Anyway, let's watch. This is one video, and there's the guy. We can watch his video. He was from the Fox News video. So let's watch this guy. I like this video. Is there sound? Hello? Here we go.
This is Jewish, this is Christian, all God-loving people against this.
So they're saying, yeah, you are a Christian fascist, but you are not.
You know what? That comes from ignorance. Anybody knows Christianity knows fascism has nothing to do in there. Our Lord Jesus Christ came preaching one thing and one thing only. That was love. And there is no fascism in love, nor there is love in fascism.
So you're saying that
all
there are...
these bigots, all this ignorant, I don't know what to call them. This is not a Christian only thing. Yeah. This is all God-loving people.
So there are Muslims here, there are Jewish people here.
There's Muslim people, there's Jewish people. For all I know, they might even be atheists. I don't know. It's all about 4 to 8-year-old kids. This has nothing to do with the religion. Of course, I am a Christian. My religion dictates otherwise what they're preaching. But again, at the end of the day, this is not about religion. This is not about politics. This is about the kids. Our kids, 4 to 8-year-old kids, have no business learning about sex. That's it. I don't care if it's gay sex, straight sex, homosexual sex, heterosexual sex. Kids have no business learning about that. That's the problem here. No one is anti-gay or homophobic, or at least I can speak for myself. You guys see there's gay people on this side protesting the indoctrination and teaching kids 4-year-old kids.
So that's one video. So this was taken by Anthony himself. Let's see. Parent faces off against. Let's take a look at a couple more of these just to give you an idea of. There's the bad language. Okay, it's too much bad language for my taste.
So did you watch the one I sent you earlier? It's his most recent one.
It's his most recent one? From Anthony.
I sent it to you just a few hours ago. Yeah, from Anthony.
Is it on here? This one?
Yeah, it is.
Let's pull this one up.
All right, guys. So I'm going to break down what happened exactly at yesterday's Glendale Unified School District and the only physical altercation. This man was arrested. Local media is not reporting who's been arrested, and they're trying to paint the picture that it was a parent that got arrested. This doesn't look like a parent to me, and I will explain it, and I will show you guys some videos from an independent journalist that was actually there. All right, so here's the first time I actually got him. This is him being told by the police to leave. He was trying to enter the parent space. Eventually, he made his way back. You guys can freeze the frame if you guys want, read back exactly what I am saying. Second time, he confronts the parents, and the police have to come and take these guys away again. This is the second confrontation with the parents that he had, twice told by police that he needs to leave. This is following right after the only physical altercation of the night. He was the only arrest. Here he is being dragged away by police. He was the only one that was arrested following the physical altercation. Now, why does this man conceal his face? Why is someone that is there for pro-LGBT and to support children, why is he there masked? And why was he stoking and instigating and trying to talk to the parents or trying to instigate whatever it is? He's the only one. Now, local media is not reporting it. I've got the video footage right here for you guys to see. Twice he was told by the police, stop coming toward the parent side. Third time, he gets arrested. So there's that.
I just thought that was
all right, guys. So I'm going to break down what happened exactly.
I like his little tagline, independent journalism over corporate news. Hell yeah, brother. Keep up the good work. So what stuck out to you about that video?
Well, it's just interesting how he said the media was not reporting on that. And who is this guy? Why is he pretending to be a parent, but then like starting fights with the parents? And who is he? Why is he there? It is just kind of interesting who's showing up to these events and why.
Yeah, you wonder how much of this is actual parents and people pushing back or both two sides or like instigators. And I think at Glendale, it looks like there were a lot more instigators. I mean, we say Antifa like people who want to be rabble rousers and stuff like that. It looked like there were a lot more rabble rousers at the Glendale because I think it was well publicized that they were going to be doing this, that they were going to be protesting this. So obviously there were counter protesters who came out and used this as an opportunity to push back. And you're probably going to, the people like this are going to show up who are just there to wear their mask and like instigate and cause problems.
Yeah.
And they don't really care about the issue. They just want to be there and instigate. But a lot of times, counter protesters show up because they want the side that they're agitating to look bad. They want them to react in a poor way. They want them to get violent. They want them to point out like, oh, look at these, supposed Christian or whatever religious people getting violent, pushing back on people. So that's their whole goal. That's why they go out and do these things, is they want to instigate and make people look the worst. This is the last video I want to watch really quick. He has a lot of videos. So if you want to go check out all of his stuff. He's got a lot of videos on this. This was the guy who was on Fox News.
You will burn this flag? You try to burn this flag. That's a hate crime. Why is it not okay to burn the LGBTQ flag, but it's okay for you to burn this flag? If you don't like this flag, get out of this country.
I mean, I'm allowing you to. You can carry it. That's your right to carry it.
Oh, there's another video.
You got me there. I agree death to America, but I also agree death to Christian fascists.
You agree?
I agree about death to America. I cannot burn the flag.
You will burn this flag? You try to burn this flag.
Okay, so he just kind of repeats himself.
Crime.
Basically, it got wild.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to continue. I think in June you're going to see a lot more of this. But I think he makes a good point, which is, why is it okay you can burn the American flag, but you can't burn the pride flag? Because we looked at that story last week, and there was almost like there was a DOJ federal investigation that was opened at Setakoi that someone burned a transgender flag, and they made a big deal. It's hate speech, and you can't do this. And oh my gosh, we have to get all these authorities involved, and we have to protect the person and the teacher. But that's a huge hate crime. But if you burn the American flag, that's fine. That's free speech. We hate American Christian fascists. That's where we're at now, especially in California, that people just loathe the American flag and would, if they could, if it wasn't actually against the law, they would fly the pride flag over the American flag. If they had that opportunity, they would just take the American flag down, put the pride flag up, and fly that all year round. It wouldn't even just be June. They would have the pride flag up all year round.